VigilanteWilliamson here with a very simple question, and that is, how valuable will CM Punk's return to WWE actually be? Before we get into everything, I hate to do the obligatory YouTuber stuff, but we're very close to 200 subs, so I'd really appreciate if you would give the channel a sub if you like what we do here. We talk about an array of different topics, mainly sports related. It could be anything. It could be boxing, could be basketball, could be football, could be wrestling. I mean, wrestling's not quite a sport, it's fringe, but we're dipping our toes in it and we're having some fun with it. So please, if you like what we do, like the video, sub, all that good stuff, and hit the notification bell, because YouTube is doing funky stuff with the algorithm. All the obligatory advertising for myself done. Let's get into CM Punk again. I know I had another video just talking about his return, saying what will it really mean, but I've given it some thought, plus the rating for WWE Raw has come out. The first show with him back did 1.8 million, and that's a significant bump up from last week, which was 1.4 million. I've said in the past, CM Punk has a sizable fan base. It's not millions and millions of CM Punk's fans, but he has a sizable, vocal, very passionate fan base. It wouldn't surprise me if he ends the year in both AEW and WWE's top 10 merch sellers. I know they're moving a lot of CM Punk shirts. But is the one Bill Phil prediction still on? And let me explain. If you go pre-Brawl Out, AEW, CM Punk was a big star for AEW, and they were in line to get a nice raise on their TV deal. Now, after the Brawl Out, after what happened with Jack Perry, and now that he's in WWE, it just so happens that the one show they don't have a deal for is WWE Raw, and it's a show that has historic football fade out every year, something that's actually hurt the product overall, because I think basically people don't return. What ends up happening is Monday Night Raw competes with Monday Night Football, and it's not the 90s anymore where they actually used to compete and even win sometimes, but every year for the past about 10, maybe 15 years, once they get into competition with Monday Night Football, the Raw ratings dip, and some people come back in the early winter, the early new year, but some people don't. Some people are gone forever. So there's this little bit of fade off, and it's the reason why they had so many more viewers 10 years ago than they do now. Luckily for them, even though WWE has fallen off and wrestling viewership and viewership as a whole has fallen off, their viewership still hasn't fallen off at the rate of TV as a whole. WWE still averages more viewers than most networks, especially on cable. So they have a deal in place for SmackDown. They have a deal in place for NXT. They don't have a deal in place for Raw. And they're having a tough time getting a deal in place because the ratings are worse than they've ever been. Some of that can be blamed on Triple H's booking. A lot of that's going to be blamed on Monday Night Football. But it is what it is. They've had some real ratings issues. It hasn't really been talked about because they're doing so well with merch sales. They're doing so well at the live gate. And SmackDown is doing solid with its ratings. But Raw isn't. And now you have Phil Brooks, CM Punk. I can feel how I want to feel about Phil, but he does have a fan base. And he can be exactly what WWE needs to get over the top. Now, I have no clue what the execs are looking for. I don't know what numbers would satisfy them to take a chance. And by execs, that could be execs at USA, that could be execs at Amazon. Apparently, David Zaslav of Warner Brothers Discovery fame was a fan of CM Punk's. That was the reason they got Collision in the first place. So I'm not sure. Maybe they'll take a chance and dump AEW for WWE. That would be terrible for AEW and really terrible for the wrestling business. I'm neither a fan of AEW or WWE per se. I mean, I want wrestling to succeed. I want wrestling to get better. I want wrestling to have a larger mainstream footprint. And even though AEW has pissed me off with a lot of his booking, well, WWE has as well, they're still crucial. I think the wrestling business needs both companies. It needs at least two companies thriving as mainstream companies for it to succeed. I think WWE has gotten better because AEW is around. I think it pushes them, and I hope AEW can stick around, and we'll see what happens with AEW getting their TV deal, and of course WWE getting its TV deal. Before we get out of here though, I did want to talk about this weird thing, and I guess it's because there is a sizable fan base of WWE that doesn't watch AEW, but in this hype for CM Punk's return, there's this, it's been 10 years and he's changed narrative, which is completely asinine. He is in this company because he got into multiple backstage fights with other people. He has not changed. And by the way, it hasn't been 10 years since he's talked bad about WWE. It's been 10 years of him talking bad about WWE. As recent as, I think everyone remembers that MJF, or at least anyone who watched it, because that was probably the best AEW storyline ever. The one where he says, you think the grass is greener on the other side, but you'll be on night one of a buy one, get one free extravaganza, some along those lines, referring to WrestleMania and referring to WWE. So he's been bad mouthing them recently. That was what, last year? Maybe the year before that, but still fairly recently. So I don't know. Maybe, again, there's a lot of WWE fans who don't necessarily know about CM Punk's run in AEW because they didn't watch AEW. Fair enough. If you don't know, now you know, Ninja. He's not changed. The most telling element of his promo was he's not here to make friends, he's here to make money. And the only time that we'll tell if that's the case. My prediction, and I think you can even see it in the comments of one of the hater videos on CM Punk, I feel like he'll move the needle for a few weeks, it'll drop off, and he'll get injured within 6 or 7 months, or burn out and flame out. I hope I'm wrong. You know, I want people to be happy. There's a lot of happiness, but I don't necessarily think this is going to be as successful as everyone else. But he can still do that. He can still flame out in 6 months and still be impactful in the TV negotiations, which are ongoing. So if he can just give a solid couple months of good Raw ratings, or Impact a solid couple months of solid Raw ratings, that may be enough. That may be worth whatever trouble, you know, to put WWE over the top. Even if he does flame out in 6 months, if they get a TV deal done, it doesn't matter. You know, he's already worth whatever happens after that, because these are massive TV deals and they affect the stock, they affect the company. So we will see. So what do you think? Do you think Raw will get a TV deal? Are you one of those, oh my God, ratings talk, even though ratings is what drives the whole money for wrestling? Are you one of those people who hates ratings and business talk altogether? You tell me. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.